Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Danielle, and today we are going to do a throat chakra light language activation healing session. What this is going to look like is I sing, but I also speak light language, and there is so much that comes through. There are so many codes that come through, and I do this while channeling the angels. So I'm very deeply connected to the angels, and that is who comes through me while I sing, especially. You'll be able to tell, trust me, if you've never heard me sing before. Um, and I just want to talk briefly about the throat chakra. So, most people, like when they think of the throat chakra, they think of blue, they think of speaking your truth, communication, and the throat chakra is such an important part of your journey because this also includes boundaries, setting boundaries with people, making sure that you have safety within yourself within the boundaries. Um, really making sure that you are speaking up when you really need to, when you really want to, and not holding things in because that is going to cause a lot of the time physical symptoms, right? It's going to cause you to also get resentful if you assume that somebody knows what you want and they don't, because nobody can assume that. You have to speak honestly and speak openly and really tell people what you want. Or maybe you're upset with someone and you're like, hey, this is what's going on, right? So open communication is really, really associated with the throat chakra. A lot of people who have thyroid issues have an imbalanced throat chakra. And something I noticed for myself, I have been diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I do not resonate with that diagnosis at all, but I really noticed a big thing for me was like I used to get so cold so easily. And I moved to Minnesota this year and it's cold as fuck. Like it's cold here, right? And I don't ever struggle with being too cold. I still might have some cold hands and feet, but I've done so much healing around my throat chakra, and I know that has contributed to my physical symptoms starting to go away. So obviously there's a huge connection between physical symptoms and energetic things going on and us not being in alignment with who we truly are, right? You as are a sovereign being and you have the ability to be very like clear with your boundaries and communicating with people. I feel like I'm missing something here. There's other things with the throat chakra. Um but even like just using your voice, so singing, creativity is also associated with this. Yes, creativity is usually people associated with the sacral chakra, but there's also creativity within the throat chakra, and they're so related, especially in a physical realm of when you're in the womb, you your tissue for your reproductive organs and your throat, they start in the same place. So then they become to develop, right? And then you grow a spinal cord and they separate. But the throat and the sacral chakra, the throat, the hips, right? Your reproductive organs, these are so connected to one another. So it's not a surprise that creativity is also associated with the throat because it's so connected to especially your hips. If you look at the cross section of your hips, I don't even know I'm going to this, but apparently this is what we're talking about right now. Cross section of the hips and the cross section of the throat, you look at them, they look very, very, very similar. Okay, so you using your voice, you speaking your truth, you opening up, you being that wild woman within, that's a lot of the throat chakra as well, is this witchy wild woman within, right? It's so important to connect to the throat chakra. All the chakras are extremely important, obviously, but I felt really called to do this transmission for you. And another thing that's coming through right now is also with the throat chakra, there's a lot of issues for people, a lot with women, with the witch wound, with you may have been killed in past lives or the collective witch wound. So maybe you weren't a witch in a past life, which you probably were. Let's just let's just say it like it is. You're most likely a witch in a past life, or a healer, or whatever, or called a witch, and maybe you didn't resonate with a witch. But that's why so many women have throat chakra issues as well. Um, and just having to be quiet and be small and well not have to but the choose to do or being told you have to be small, right? You don't take up too much space because you're a woman, or as a little girl you're told to not take up too much space, just be seen not heard, right? These are things that have been completely ingrained in you, maybe not in this lifetime but maybe in your ancestral line as well, or past lives. It's all connected. There's so many things and I can go on forever talking about this stuff, but let's get into it. So I just recommend you close your eyes, get in a relaxing position. and just allow the healing to really flow to you, and just be open to whatever needs to come through. I don't think I'm going to be having music associated with this because I'll be singing. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and let's get into it. So just get into that comfortable position. And put your attention on your throat space. Rasirakorayaniti saratorashianatosia krea sarataka margoyania serea dasia oro anaya krasiti jisodoya di rea nakorati amaraya ea sarata si oshonotusura yanekia reta sarato yanaya area tasraki doshonosu area brasatorianata sa Krobarasiaratea, Nianaka Saratea Shati Saratu Ayanayate, Anakieto Saratiaya Nakasa, Ropu Ayane Chasiritiare Sarayano Kosuya, Rea Tasarakianita Sarato, Ayatis. So what I've done here is I'm seeing like chains around the neck. I'm just clearing out a lot of gunk, a lot of just shit that is really, I don't like using the word block, but shit that's really just like getting in the way, of you really opening up your voice and speaking. I'm just clearing out right now. Clearing, clearing, clearing. Rasirati shanoto soroya nayate araya tasaki. No shato soroya nasiate arasa karaya nasi. And right now, this energy is very past life related. Oshonoto suruya naya ea sarataya kashiti no horayata ea nayata oro soryanaya makretia sarati shotokoya. Taking a deep breath in. Onoto shotoriania saratia aya koroti area sare shatiron korianayata saratea. Ayanako soriti shatasara arati srakiamarotoha. Anasitira nasi areshitira kasrameto posiriti. So I am putting in flowers right now. I'm seeing blue hydrangeas, like blue and white. We're just putting flowers in. Just flowers really represent love for me. I'm just putting in lots of love into this space, into the throat. Nasanai area sako praria sanano aya kariana to ihan seya to sho manato ano ia Raiano salatia tatea sacriano ia soriano si bandaia cantasiano ia Raniano I see I Laniano I see I Raiano ea sana katia nisa Kono ia tasata ia no ia Kratia no sibaya nia natayata Reana so alaia teana Soru akianatia seaya Taking a deep breath in. So that was a song of celebration as we have cleared, oh, I'm getting chills right now, as we have cleared a bunch of gunk just from that first light language section. The song was just celebrating you really singing and not singing, really showing up, and using your voice and setting your boundaries and feeling safe to do so, because so many times we don't feel safe to do that, because of past conditioning, right, or past lives. So, and I'm still doing energy work, so we're not done here. Yeah, it's like that felt very light and fluffy. It's the word that's coming up. Taking another deep breath in and into your throat space and letting it out. I'm just going to speak a little bit more to seal this in. Ariata srekiano koshoratuyanaya. Arasia rea kasanati shatoyania. Arato anayati sirike arasirato oshiata. Rea nakasiratea onoya amaki. Aya no toroso uyarata. Srekiana kosoti shitiamasi. Pro. Pa, 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 pa. And one last final breath. And just let it out. Okay. Hopefully you feel fucking amazing. That is always my intention. Let me know in the comments below if anything came through for you, how you felt. Many people get into like a super trance state when I sing, which is very cool. It's very grounding and also super healing. Yeah, I would love to hear from you. And if you are curious about any of my offerings, they will be below in the caption. And I will see you in the next video.